Hello everyone and welcome to Raw Footage Into the Breach. Today we're playing Into the Breach. We're doing things a little bit different than I normally do them. So first off, describing Into the Breach, I would say it's a roguelike game. I wouldn't say a puzzle game, however, when I play it, I play extremely slow because I'm not good at the game and it's hard for me to look up the moves. As you see while we play, you have a grid and you have units and you're trying to defeat the enemy, which is called the Vec, and those are monsters attacking these alternate dimension Earths, and the units you control are actually time travelers from the future. So it's pretty interesting. I've had a lot of fun with it. I've played it a lot. I actually made a new save file for raw footage just in case as I play and we get achievements. However, the starting units, they are my least favorite. I dislike them because the way I play is I stall a lot because the way the game works, you have so many rounds that you have to defend a place for, and unless you have to get a certain kill total as a mission, really you can stall for as long as you want. And there's some other good mech parties, I guess is what you'd call them. There are other really good ones that are just based around moving people around, and that's kind of what I like to do. Talking about today's episode, a little bit more in depth now that I've talked about the game a little bit. Today, we're actually doing things different in raw footage. In the past, what I've done is I will record the audio, like me currently talking, live while I'm playing the game. Today I actually decided not to do that, just to try out a few things, and I'm going to go back to the style of video I did on the Binding of Isaac, where it's a little bit more podcast style, where I'm talking about things. I've got a list of topics I want to talk about, and that's actually my first topic is, what should raw footage be? Now, I've done it a few different ways. If we go back to the very first one, as far as I can tell, it was a gameplay video where I'm playing the game. It's just I also talked about other stuff during it. Then we go to the second one where I tried to make it like a podcast where I'm not talking about the game, but I'm rather talking about what's happening with me, what's happening with the channel, how things are going. And I think that's a good style. However, you have to be really into my character as a whole, which I think is good for growing a community, or if you know me, we can just chit-chat. And by we, I mean I will chit-chat, I will talk down to you, and you will listen and like it. However, I understand that format is a little odd, especially starting out. So, right now I have the topic labeled as podcast or playthrough. What is raw footage? And we're only 3 minutes in, so if you are listening this far in, tell me, what do you want raw footage to be? Now, you might be questioning why we're doing raw footage this week. If you're not in the Discord, then what happened this week is my original Minecraft video I was going to record failed miserably multiple times, and I'll try and get that out next week, although I might do something else at this point because, dear God, I've had so much problems with it. But that's where we're at right now, and that's really what raw footage is for. It's a way for me to regroup, but I don't want to leave you without an upload each week. That's why I do them. And that's why the question of what should it be comes in. Because it's not like a normal upload where I'm editing. It might not be as engaging or as entertaining. So I want to make sure, even if we have to do an upload like raw footage every once in a while, even if I make a mistake, I'm still entertaining you as a community and as an audience. So, down in the comments, tell me, what do you want raw footage to be? Should it just be gameplay? Should it just be a podcast? Or, like I've gotten a comment in the past, should I do none footage where I'm not even talking, it's just gameplay? I don't know. I don't think my skill's high enough to do none footage yet, but I've definitely thought about trying to figure out something for none footage. Also on the point of raw footage, this is like a subcategory I wrote for it. What games should I be playing for raw footage? This is kind of a question for the channel as well on what games I should play, but for raw footage specifically, the intent I originally had with it was to play roguelikes. Even when I was a kid, the very first episode of raw footage was meant to be roguelike games, because those are games you can play infinite amount of times and you will always get a different end result, mainly because you start off with nothing and you get different items as you clear floors. Or whatever you're clearing. I'm thinking of Isaac in this case. So I originally thought that. I do like roguelikes. I have a lot of fun with them. However, should I be doing other games? That's why I tried Peggle. I wanted to see something that I find entertaining and something that might entertain you. However, I don't know how well it panned out. I think Peggle's a fine game. I don't think it's like highly sought after right now. It's also a game where I sweat a lot because, you know, I'm thinking about the game, so then I get quiet. I'm trying to make these shots. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm recording the audio after for this episode, is because in Into the Breach, I mean, you're watching it right now. My plan is to put it in 2x speed, so it's just uncut footage. It's just doubled, so you're not sitting there for an hour. My reason for that is because I take so long to do moves because I'm trying to think everything out. And honestly, I should just play faster. I think that'd get me... It's the same way when you do like math. You have to start working at it multiple times. You have to start doing the math faster to actually get good at it. I think that's what I need to do for Into the Breach, but I haven't been able to do that yet. So I'm just really slow with it. But that's the thing, you know. In a game where I'm really slow, and it takes a lot of time for me to figure stuff out, I'm going to be quiet. So that's why, going back to the beginning, I think it should be a podcast format where I'm talking afterwards, but maybe you think otherwise. With that, going back to games, and I'm sorry, again, I'm terrible at staying on topic. Going to games, I've been watching, and it's not the greatest thing for me to watch, because I feel like YouTube gurus don't actually teach you everything. You know, they want to make money, so they're trying to get you to buy their whatever to get however many subscribers or whatever. I've watched a few of them at this point, and there's two things that I've kind of taken out that I feel like is true in a sense, because the channels I watch, the first one being you need to have content that has a niche, so you need to be getting some kind of audience specifically. For instance, I watch a guy named Huts. He does roguelike video games, and so that's pretty much the main thing he does. He's really skilled, he's good at them. He didn't start out that way. You know, I didn't watch him when he was getting lower views, and when I go back, I've even looked back at some of his older videos. He does shooters, he does Minecraft, he does roguelikes, he does all these different games. And even now, even with however many hundreds of thousands of subscribers he has, he still doesn't have more than, 10,000 views on a lot of those videos because he didn't specialize. And even in college right now, like my journalism class has been talking a lot about how media, often, it blows up when it's specialized. When it's this one thing, this little niche, this area, you're actually going to do a lot better because you're going to look more professional in that area, and also there's probably a larger audience than you think. And with that, I've been thinking, should I specialize my content? Should I figure out what game I should be playing? What genre of game I should be playing? And that's kind of where on this list I've wrote down, Minecraft as a game. I could just be strictly a Minecraft channel. I don't think I'd want to do that. I think Minecraft channels, they're going to lose a lot of their ability to grow, and I don't want to just do Minecraft. I want to do a lot of games. And so that's when I thought, well, maybe I should be doing survival games. Games that fit the Minecraft genre. They're in the same semi-niche where you're trying to survive the night, survive the day, beat the end boss, but you're building up tools and resources. I think that'd be fun. I like those types of games. We're talking Starbound, Terraria, Minecraft. There's a game that I've Excuse me. There's a game that I've been thinking about getting called Forager. It looks amazing. It's a survival-based game. There's a lot of games out there that are survival-based, and there's a few that I don't want to spoil that I have in my Steam library because I've been thinking about playing them. It's just, I don't know if I want to expand too far yet, if I want to keep doing the SMP. Obviously, I'm doing one upload a week, so it makes it harder to pump out more videos. I want to keep one thing going at a time. However, my hope is as things get less busy as the semester ends, I might be able to do something and start expanding my content a little bit more. And I said there are two things that I've been paying attention to with those gurus. The first one obviously being the niche. The second one that I've been paying attention to is actually the way you engage your audience. This is kind of an interesting one. I've been trying to do it with the intros. However, I don't know if it's quite what I want. What a lot of them talk about is create a way for you to interact with your audience. And usually their examples of that are, for instance, a Discord server, or going to Twitter, or even just commenting with them in the comments, or actually playing with them. They've talked about doing things that engage them, bring them in, and actually make them a part of your video. So that is why I think the intros are a good idea. It engages you guys as an audience. It draws you in, and it's interesting and funny because the intros are usually really stupid and silly. Not in the sense that they're made bad, I just mean when you use my content as an intro template, I have said so many weird things. For instance, the last video, its intro was like, I'm getting gangbanged, and that was me as a kid. You know, just saying stuff because I'm a dumb kid. And so that, I think, it's an interesting way to do things. I don't know how well it'll go. I don't know how well it'll pan out. I mean, right now we've got, I think, I need to make one intro based off of a picture I got sent. And we've got another intro. So then we've had 2 in the videos so far. So right now we've had 4 fan intros. I have an idea for more for me if I need to make some more. However, I don't really want to because that's a lot of work. But I definitely can, and I think it's interesting. I think it's a fun way to do stuff. And it kind of builds like a theme with the channel of, well, what is this guy? Why does he have such weird intros? Why does he have a different intro in every video? And yeah, it's just, it creates something that's different with my channel than others. The next thing that I can talk about, actually I'll continue on games a little bit. Another thing with games, I have ideas for content that does not fit in the niche of survival games. One of those being, I play a lot of, I play a fair bit of I just had a stroke. I play a fair bit of League of Legends, mainly because I'm goofing around in ARAM, which is the randomized hero game. I thought about doing something like that. I also play a fair bit of Overwatch. It's a shooter game, so I'm not great at shooters. My skill level is not high, but one of the things I thought about there was maybe doing some competitive videos where I'm goofing around in competitive. Mainly, I main tank, so really high health people who have skills that are usually based on survivability or stunning and stunning and slowing enemies, I guess is the best way to put it. And so, or crowd control. But I've been playing a little bit of the attack or the damage dealers, and I thought about maybe as a tank main going and trying to see what rank I can get as a DPS. That might be interesting. Tell me if it interests you. If it doesn't, I understand. Right now my content is based on survival games and raw footage. Now, moving on, talk more about branding. I talked a little bit about it with Peggle last week. I'm gonna get a drink real quick. My throat's starting to hurt. Well, right before I start talking too much. I talked a little bit last week about Peggle, or on Peggle. I talked about Tik-Tok and how I've been expanding my brand. And by expanding my brand, that is a professional way to say it. It's not like I'm doing anything crazy here. I'm just cutting down clips from the YouTube channel and making them into TikToks. I need to start posting on Twitter more, I think. I don't have many followers there, but I can at least post there, and that way there's posts and stuff. One of the things with that is I've been trying to hammer down what I want my channel's themes and stuff to be. As you've noticed, the last few last few thumbnails, you'll see that the text is usually this blue and this red. And if you've been on the TikTok and the most recent video, the Peggle one that I released, where I cut up the last raw footage. I have to burp and it's not coming out. That's why I'm talking weird. The raw footage of Peggle, I chopped it up a little bit into parts that I thought were funny or cool, and I tried to do motion tracking and keyframes. It was alright. I'm not good at it, but I tried my best. Anyway, with that, I cut those videos up, and I put a little end screen card that says my YouTube, and I used the colors. I used the light blue there. I'm trying to use those as a channel color. So I think I'm going to have to find something that goes good with my... The thing is, lion is yellow. That's the icon we have right now, is yellow. I've thought about making a new icon. If you didn't know, I actually made the one that is my current channel icon, but I traced it off of a different thing. I don't remember what it was. I've tried finding it, but I traced it and made it my own. I think the main thing was the face that is the exact same. I just colored it. I've thought about making my own. I'm not a great artist by any means, but I can get the job done, and I think it'd probably be funnier if it was made poorly in MS Paint by me. It definitely would look interesting. So I've thought about changing that a little bit to make it to where, 1, we've got a new icon, 2, we've got specific colors. I need to make a channel banner and do some stuff with that, but that way we have specific colors with the banner, and that way the whole channel's kind of tied together with this scheme. And that way, if I do decide to do something like merch, which I have thought about just me making a pillow for myself, and that way, I have my own merch, and I can say I've sold merch online. I think it'd be interesting to have that on my resume, I've sold merch online through social media to myself, but it's still on the resume. I think that'd be interesting. The whole point of expanding the brand is to build the community right now. The reason I kind of want to build the community is because I want to see more people engaging, and I want to see more intros, really. I like just how people watch and what they decide to make as an intro. I think that's really cool stuff, and so that's why I've been trying to expand. I hope that doesn't make any of you feel bad that I'm trying to expand the community more. I had a voice crack there, but I still will try and comment on everything and do everything. I don't think I'm going to exponentially grow, but the plan is to try and make it to where at least, every week I have an intro made that I don't have to make. And that way every week when I'm posting a video, I know people are going to enjoy it, or at the least, people are going to leave me what I should be changing in the future. Continuing off branding, this is obviously a gaming channel, and with the niche thing that I talked about before, one of the biggest things in general that gurus have said to do is not to post too many different types of content. Now for gaming specifically, they were usually talking about same genre of games, but past that, I don't want to be uploading... I have school shenanigans as a playlist on this account, and while I think that's fine, I think I should be careful with what I actually keep on this channel, and so I've been thinking about making a different channel entirely called Elias Does a Thing, or something along those lines, where I can do content that I'm doing in person. For instance, I have a 3D pen, and I've got a few projects I've wanted to try doing with that 3D pen. I think it'd be interesting to record them and showcase my process, but I just haven't. One, because of time. I do not have the time to, one, edit another video on the week by week. I mean, I barely have time each week to do that with classes. However, I can get it done in most cases, but I don't think I could get 2 a week with the current amount of time in the week I have with classes and everything. But I think it'd be interesting to do, making an in-person account. I also think with that I could do stuff like, I've got my dog Roscoe. We could go on walks, and I could kind of showcase the things. For instance, my girlfriend and I have been building a dam out near the river, in a van out by the river. But that's kind of one thing we've been doing, and I think it's interesting. I think it'd be cool to do a video on that. But there's just things that interest me that I think would be cool to record and might interest other people, but I don't want to do it on a channel where I'm focusing on gaming, because I feel like that's kind of out of nowhere. I guess at that point, though, if you do like me as a character, then that'd be the channel to go to. Now, the final thing I want to talk about, and it might be a weird one, especially when I just talked about how little time I have, is streaming. Now, originally, for Halloween, I thought I'd try and stream. That didn't end up happening. I had nowhere near the amount of time I thought I would that day. But my original... Excuse me, let me yawn. My original thought for Halloween was I'd dress up as Tyler or Ninja, whatever. I don't know what his last name is. I just know him by Ninja. I thought I'd dress up as him, and I would stream. I thought that'd be funny and interesting. I've also seen a lot of my friends streaming lately, where, for instance, I think his YouTube channel is called Fly Rule now, but he was totally Blueberry when we were kids. And that was, he was streaming. I had a lot of fun watching his content. I like watching streams, and I can talk for a pretty decent amount of time, I'd say. I do have problems when I talk too fast or too much, and then I just kind of force my voice, because then it starts to get dry, and that's when I yawn a lot. So I don't think I'd be the best streamer, but I think I could stream decent and at least keep content coming out. And the reason why I thought streaming might be interesting to do is because then you can engage real time with your audience, and that way, for instance, if I'm playing on the Minecraft server, one, I could be recording it, saving it somewhere, that way I can edit for YouTube later, but I can, be doing something, or building something, or fighting something, and then someone can go, oh, you should do this. Or, oh, that's actually a less efficient way to do it, instead try this. And then I can have the criticism and the tips and the tricks all up front, and that way I know them sooner, and it's a little bit easier to get there. I know streaming is hard, because if you schedule it at the wrong times, you're going to get less and less people, and usually you can't get... speaking of that Huts guy again, he does streams, and I've watched probably almost all of his videos. I've watched a lot of them. Yet, I can barely make it to his streams just because of when he streams. It's not a convenient time for me. It's not a time when I think I can easily watch content, so it makes it hard to reach his stream. But I also know he has people who just watch his stream, who really don't engage with his YouTube channel too much. Instead, they're there for the stream, they're there for the engagement. While yes, they probably do watch YouTube videos of his, they probably don't watch all of them. They just watch the ones they want. Versus his stream, he's playing multiple games throughout the night. They could leave for a while and come back when they want the game they want. So it's a way in which I can talk to people real time. The content can be more engaging. and then in the end, I think it'd be an interesting thing to at least try. I don't think I'd do it till later in the year. I think I'd probably do it over, or not summer break, winter break. Yeah. I'm gonna get another drink. I think we have like 36 minutes of footage. I haven't actually sped it up yet. But I know this video kind of cheats what is raw footage, because in a sense I am doing editing. For instance, I'm not talking live in the video game, and on top of that, the video game itself is sped up, so one, it makes me look way cooler because, I do something way faster. However, the reason why I'm doing it this way is, one, so I don't have to record an hour and 12 minutes of audio with, honestly, I have minimal topics. I had a few. I don't think I talked about any of them for more than, 10 minutes. I might have one or two. It's an easier way for me to do this. I think talking after the fact, too, while I still get distracted a lot, I don't get distracted as much, and I know for a fact, if I was playing Into the Breach and trying to do this audio, I would stop talking so many times. There were so many times just recording that game when I was playing it where I'd be like, what in the world do I do? I was thinking like, holy crap, I can't do any moves. I was looking at the board for so long. There was a point when I'm pretty sure I spent like 10 minutes on one battle. And, in the beginning, usually by the end it does take a long time to get through each battle, but it is insane how hard that game is. I didn't even win one today. I suck so much at it. That is one thing, with games that I play. One of the reasons why I've thought about playing survival games over, like, roguelikes. God, my voice again. The reason I think survival games is a good genre for me to play is because I suck at anything like combat-oriented, anything that takes skill. I am not able to actually do that. If you've seen any of the times, like any combat in the Minecraft episodes, just go back and look at like the fight of the Ender Dragon. I ate probably 6 golden apples there, yet I don't think I ever lost more than 3 hearts. Or if you look at the last video, when pillagers attacked me at one point, I literally took no damage, like from their crossbow shots, and I go, oh god, I'm gonna die. I say such stupid stuff because I suck at combat and at games and anything having to do with skill. Just a little bit of spoilers, I guess, for the next Minecraft episode. I did have PvP with another player. We fought each other, and I'm just gonna say it went poorly. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not great at that sort of stuff. I'm gonna get another drink. My voice is really dying here. I guess, like, a last-minute question I can ask for those of you who either skip to the end of the video, or to those of you who, watch through the whole thing and listen. How has this stuff been going, I don't know how to phrase this question. How have I been doing at not only making content, but growing as a content creator? That's kind of a question I've been wondering, because I feel like I'm hitting a wall at this point because of the way I record. But I don't know. I just find that, raw footage I feel kind of bad. It doesn't give me as a good of a feeling when I see people like commenting on raw footage videos because I put less time into it, versus like when I see someone commenting on one of the Minecraft videos, it's like, I put time into this, it makes me feel good to see that people enjoyed it, or that people are liking it, or that people watch it. So with that, raw footage I feel bad about usually. How has the progression since that first one I uploaded been? I watched a little bit of like, my first Minecraft episode that I released versus the last one. And while I feel like it's good, I still feel like it needs something. It's just hard for me to tell what. I think a lot of it is, at this point, I'm getting bored with my own survival in a sense, where I see that survival world, that multiplayer survival, and it's not doing it for me anymore, because I feel like there should be stuff I can do there still, yet I don't know what exactly I should be doing. And for me, that's a problem because, if I'm already running out of content on episode 4, really episode, 5 or 6, if I'm running out of ideas for content, I need to think up something fast. And with that, I think part of it is there's not a lot of players on the server usually. It is really like a single-player world that other people can log into sometimes, which definitely is, something I want to change. I've thought about one of the next TikToks, or even on video, could be, going in and saying, hey, this is the server, we're looking for more people, because we are. If you're thinking you want to join the server, it's Java Edition on PC Minecraft. I think Java is only PC. I don't actually know, though. But it's on PC. Right now, we are looking for more people to join. And so, if you want to, just either message me in the Discord or message me personally, or even comment it, and I can get you in contact with the server owner, and we can see. But with that, one of the TikToks I was thinking about making was, I've seen a lot of them where it's like, oh my gosh, me and my friends are starting a Minecraft SMP. Hey gang, you can join, here's the IP, or something like that. I've thought about making that so that way, we can get more people drawn into this server. I've thought about trying to reach out to other content creators I've found through TikTok and even through YouTube. Recently I got, another small Minecraft YouTuber. He just popped up in my recommended, and I was like, okay, I'll watch him, I'll see. And so I subscribed, that way I could find his content again. And I've thought about asking, hey, we've got this SMP, we've got this server we've been playing on. It's past the Ender Dragon at this point, but we're looking for more players. We want to create a proper economy. We want to do all these things. Would you be interested in joining? And definitely seeing where that goes. It's definitely something that we've been interested in. Part of that is I've wanted to wait till Dawson, he's the server owner, by the way. I think I've said his name multiple times. I just don't think I put 2 and 2 together that he's the server owner on the videos. He's been talking about making a highlights video for the server where he goes through and showcases some of the builds that have been made. So for instance, he's got this really cool nether base. One of the other players' creativity, he's got this cool temple he made. We've got a few shops going. I've thought about, trying to set mine up before that. I wanted to get the tower done first, Mushroom Incorporated. That's going to probably be in there. We've got a bunch of other houses that have been built. Wyatt has a very nice looking little cove, and there's a lot of cool stuff on the server, so he's talking about showcasing it. I thought I could cut down that footage and turn it into a TikTok, and that way we're reaching out to, people on that platform to see if they want to join, and then we also have the YouTube video that might make people want to join. Overall, it'd be an interesting way to see if we can garner some growth on the server, because as it stands right now, we've got a cap of 20 players at one time, and I think the max I've seen is probably 7 at one time, and that was a while ago at this point. However, the other day, last week, there were 5 people at one time, which is pretty good to have on for a server that probably only has, 10 or 15 total different people that have played on it. Overall, I think it's I think it's a growing server. I think it's a growing community. And I think it definitely has more room where it can grow past where it is right now. So if you're interested, definitely tell me in the comments below, and I'll get you hooked up with Dawson, so that way we can see if you can join. Thank you all for watching this far in. I want to give a huge shout out to Chad Bernstein for setting up the Discord and everything. I didn't actually know he had set it up to where it announces when my videos go live, but it does. So if you're interested in being able to hear that, you can join the Discord and you'll get announcements. The other way you can get announcements is by subscribing and clicking the bell icon. If you haven't done that yet, please do. And I will see all of you in the next episode.